wanna bleed. Even my heart, my mind, and my body.
Okay, by the grace of God, this video will be allowed to get filmed because I have no storage space, and that has been a reason why I have not uploaded or edited or recorded. As I said in my TikTok video, there's been so many signs, from reading my Bible to things on TikTok that would be like, you know, it's time, or I'll go ahead and I'll like flip to a random scripture and it'll be based on, you know, just simply having trust in God, listening to God, and not procrastinating on what he tells you to do. And I have not been the most, I'm not going to say like not the most faithful. It's just more so, this is a huge job, okay? Talking about God, that is like, that's not something that I don't even know how to explain it. There's so many things about God that I feel I should know before I even go ahead and put out content on God. But given that God has continuously told me that you are the one I want you to create like content for based on your story, we're here. So I'm gonna tell you my story about how I got closer to God. All right, well, for starters, I was in a very dark place. I guess I should walk with you while I talk about this because like that would just make most sense to me, I guess. Okay, so the way I got closer, or I went ahead and sought God out, was first, I was doing things I knew that didn't go with my spirit. Like, they didn't fit my spirit. They didn't make me feel good, but they made me feel good. Does that make sense? And I'm not going to get too much into that, but I've talked about on my channel before, just long-term gratification and short-term gratification. And I was doing a lot of things that was short-term gratification. And I was like, why do I feel this way when I do these certain things? Like, what is it? And I was ignoring it for so long. Oh my gosh, it's pouring. But yeah, I was ignoring it for so long until I was like, I can't ignore it anymore, because I felt like I was getting called to go back to church. That was the first sign that I knew God wanted me to turn a new leaf, I guess, was something was telling me to go back to church. Like, do you ever get visions of something and it does not leave your head? Like, it continuously stays there. You'll wake up and you'll think about the same thing. You'll be eating breakfast, you'll think about the same thing. You'll, like, I don't know, get off of work and you think about the same thing. It was just like, it was such a pestering thought. Not pestering in like a, because I don't want that to have like a negative connotation. No, it was just consistently always there. Like, I couldn't ignore it. And so my grandfather passed away, and I never experienced death. So that was kind of something I just kind of always ask God, don't let me experience. And I know that sounds silly, I know it sounds foolish, but it was always something every time okay, it just stopped recording out of nowhere. But by the miracle of God, it started recording again. So let me continue. Yeah, so my grandfather passed away, and I didn't know how I would ever react to death. Like, I thought if I lose somebody, I won't be able to handle it, and I wasn't very wrong. And I'm not laughing because anything's funny. It was because I hit a low that I didn't even know existed. And then at that point, like, everything was already kind of like in the shitter. Oh, please, God forgive me for swearing. But it was really low. It was down there. But when, okay, I deleted just like 5 apps on my phone. Like, the enemy does not want me to make this video. I know that for a fact. But we're gonna continue, because this isn't supposed to be easy. Nothing good comes easy, or I think. What is that? I don't really like to follow sayings like that, but you know what I mean. If this is going to happen, let me just continue. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? It was like one of those, what's the point if we're all gonna die, you know? And that is what my mindset became until okay, pause. Seriously, I'm having a hard time editing this and watching it myself because I'm having a hard time getting my words out. But please bear with me because this is a very personal video and I have a good message. Well, God gave me a good message, I should say, because that's the truth, to, you know, bring into this video. So please stay to the end and continue to support. Thank you for watching. I just like nail and talk because oh wow, what is that? Hello? Oh, it's the water in the camera. Okay, cool. You know what? I'm gonna tell you exactly a conversation I had at this new job that I picked up. I was at this shift and me and this girl, we started talking about God, and I'll talk about this whole encounter and this whole experience in a video itself because it was so freaking cool. But I told her that my grandfather passed, and that's when I decided to answer that call. The amount of disruptions right now, but okay. So yeah, I told her that's when I finally decided to answer the call to go back to church. And I knew the minute I entered church, I was going to break down. Like, it was awaiting its time. I went back to church, and then I just feel like from there on, it took its own toll. Like, I cannot explain to you how, because I never thought I would become like that Christian girl or like that God girl, you know what I mean? And it was just like, I wanted to buy a Bible, I wanted to study, I wanted to learn more, like I wanted to tell everybody that the joy I was feeling inside at such a dark time, if that makes sense. Like it was like day and night. Like, I went from being in the dark to experiencing light just by letting God in. And after I went to church, it was this experience I had with my pastor, Sean. I love Sean. But I had this experience with Sean, and he wasn't even supposed to be preaching. So I was really sad that day when I went back to church because I expected him to be preaching. And then my aunt was like, no, he just had like surgery or something, he's not gonna be preaching. So I was like, oh man, like that was what I really wanted. Like, that's what I was excited for, to see Sean again, to hear Sean again and hear his teachings. But when he wasn't there, I got really sad, and I still went. And you know, the preacher that was there, he was good as well, you know. But the cool thing that happened was I sat in my seat, and something, like, I can't even tell you, like, I even told the girl, I could not tell you what made me get out of my seat. Another disruption, but I don't care. This video is getting out because now I see why I wanted to do this, why I got called to do this. So yeah, I get out of my seat, I go to the bathroom, but I already went to the bathroom, okay? So why would I get up again to go to the bathroom? I don't know. But I go out the door and I bump into this guy, and he turns around, and can you guess who it was? It was Sean. And I was like, and when I tell you, like, I have goosebumps still. Like, I literally told her this story and I still have goosebumps. Like, I get goosebumps, and no, it's not because I'm cold because it's raining. Like, no, I have goosebumps because it was just like the timing of it all. And that's how kind of everything that's been in my life so far, especially this past year, is just timing, like divine timing, no pun intended. But yeah, so I'm like, I bump into him and he starts talking to me, and I couldn't tell you what he said because it was personal. But not only that, it was just, I know that he told me about communion because they were taking communion that day. And I know that he was telling me that God sent me here on this day specifically so I can have this reset, and that I can... Another disruption. I literally have like not even 4 apps. I only have like 1 app left, and that's TikTok, and that's where I recorded the video, so I can't delete it. But let me just continue. So, oh God, please let me just get like another 3 minutes out of this. So, okay, where was I? I said, yeah, so he's talking to me, and he's looking at me in my eyes, and I'm just like, this is so surreal. Like, you're not supposed to be here. And he's like, I was just about to leave. He's like, I had surgery. He's telling me everything that my aunt told me, and I'm like, what? And then I came back to my seat, and my aunt was like, was that Pastor Sean? And I was like, yeah. And I just couldn't, like, they did their singing, and I still was in this moment of like, did that just happen? And so, oh my gosh, my phone's dying too, of course. But honestly, like, if I don't get another 3 minutes, it's okay. I wanted to tell that story. That was where it all started. And from there, it was like I would be in the shower and I would be thinking about all the things that hurt me, the people that hurt me, the situations I've been in. And truly, like, you can say I forgive somebody, but when you feel that pain and all of it just like come up, like regurgitate out of you, and you give it to God, like, I would have breakdowns in the shower, crying on my knees. Like, this is so personal. Like, this is why I didn't want to do this. Like, this is so personal. I'm telling people, but I know I'm not the only one. And so, yeah, like, I would just have breakdowns in the shower, crying. And I was like, God, I give it to you. I give it to you. I specifically would say, I give this to you. Like, and just letting it go.